Hi, Christy here for our second video in the Big Marketing Small Business series. And I am cozied up at home today with a warm cup of coffee and in my sweats because it is snowing like crazy outside and I'm enjoying working from home today. So we are going to delve into the key aspects of marketing. And if you watched the video before, you know that we touched on 3 parts of the marketing plan: awareness, purchasing opportunities, and buying relationships. And we're going to delve into each of those. Today I want to start with awareness. Awareness is something that as small businesses we know we have to do, and we kind of do a good job with that. Like, we start telling people who we are, what we do, what we're selling. We jump on Facebook and we start sharing that with people. We may even create a website or launch an Etsy or Shopify site to sell our product. But we are pretty good at the awareness thing. I mean, we know we got to do that. Let's talk a little bit about having a very targeted way to generate that awareness piece. So first and foremost, I really challenge you to grab a pad of paper, a notebook, make notes on your computer, whichever you want to do. This is important for you to keep and something you can refer to, okay? We're going to create an awareness journal that basically catalogs some key questions in our business: who we are, what we do, what makes us different, what do people like about us, what do they like about what we do, what brings them to us, what brings them back to us, what's our competitors doing, what's the market doing. All of these questions will help shape the awareness piece of our marketing plan, as well as some of the other pieces as well. So, what are you doing? What is your competitor doing? How does it compare? That's a really touchy subject for a lot of women, because I don't think naturally we see ourselves as competitors. We don't see ourselves as competitive driven, and that's okay. I just was sitting in an entrepreneur class where I'm a facilitator, and we were talking about this very thing, about competition, and all of the women in the class were like, yeah, we're not very competitive. I don't see myself as being competitive. And I kind of chuckled, because if you're in business, you're competitive. That's just how it is. It may not be the overlying or the overbearing emotion in your business, but there's got to be some competitiveness in you to even fight to have a business. But the one thing I want you to think about is being competitive in a way that isn't necessarily the dog-eat-dog philosophy or the ruthless business tycoon that we may think in our brains is what competitiveness leads to. I think competitiveness means simply that you are aware of what is happening in your marketplace, you know what your competitors are doing, and you're willing to let your voice be just as loud as their voice. So it's not necessarily negative, it's very positive. The example I like to use is if you're standing on the starting line of a track competition or a race, and you're standing there with other runners. The competition is, and the focus for the competition is to get to the finish line first. And that means that runner uses skill and ability and physical agility to get to the finish line first. That's what competing is. That's what their competition is about. The competition and the competitiveness is not at the starting line. It's not standing there looking at the runner next to them and trash talking them. That's not what it is. It's about the run. It's about the race. It's about getting to the finish line. And that's what you need to think about as a small business. It isn't necessarily about standing around and bad-mouthing or talking about how you are better than your competitor, or how you are a better opportunity for your customer than the company next door to you. It's more about knowing what you need to do to get to the finish line, knowing what your steps are going to be, knowing what the path looks like, and being able to articulate that to your customers. So we're going to talk about that. So don't feel like you're like, whoa, I don't even know where to begin with that. We're going to go through it, okay? But I want you to start thinking now that it is important for you to become an expert in your market. So if you happen to work in bath and body products, then you need to be an expert on bath and body products. You need to know not only what your competitors' pricing at and what kind of advertising they're doing, but what kind of products are they coming out with. And more importantly, what does the market of bath and body products, what is it asking? Okay, what is it providing? What is it trying to put together for your clientele? So for instance, it isn't just about putting together a lotion and putting it in a bottle and making it look prettier than the person next to you. It means knowing that what clientele are looking for is something maybe all natural, something more oil-based, not water-based, something that's scented or unscented. What's the demand there? What's the market asking for there? And knowing that your competitor is or isn't doing that. So anyways, not to get on that kind of a tangent, but I do just want to tell you that becoming an expert in the market is so important, and it will really help you when it comes to developing your business and especially in developing your marketing. And again, you don't have to copy what the competitor is doing, but it will give you valuable insight into what's going on. And it may change your perspective on what you should be doing, or change your scope of what you're going to offer, or what you're going to package, or how you're going to package what it is that you do. So let's talk about awareness specifically. Let's talk about those questions that I just kind of ran through really quickly. As silly as it sounds and as simplistic as it may be, on a piece of paper, I want you to write what you are in the business of. And I don't mean to write down the product you provide or the service you provide. I mean, what are you in the business of? And that is a really unique question, and it will probably take you some time to really figure out how to answer that. But what I mean by that is, what are you in the business of when it comes to what your customers get from you when they buy from you? So to give you an example, I have a coaching client who provides really cute clothes that are repurposed and refashioned. And in doing that, it kind of has like this vintage appeal. And one of the reasons why she really enjoys doing what she's doing and enjoys the kind of business she's in is because she sees it as this opportunity to really love vintage looks, to kind of be comforted by that vintage appeal, and by that the fabric and the feel and the whole experience of that. I also have another coaching client that makes really great candy, and she has the same thing. She wants, when people eat her candy, she wants it to be this experience that takes them back to when they were kids and they got to have candy, penny candy at the store or whatever. Those are not just products that we're talking about. Those are emotions. Those are experiences that those customers get when they buy that vintage looking article of clothing, or when they taste that great piece of candy. And so they're not in the business of making clothes or making candy. They're in the business of giving their customers an experience, bringing them back home to that cozy, comforting feel of fabrics and warmth and color. They're in that nostalgic experience when their customers taste that candy and it melts in their mouth, and they think about when they were kids and they loved getting candy. That's what they're in the business of. They're in the business, okay, of creating that emotion, whatever that emotion is. I have another client, and I love this because she said it and it was like a light bulb went off, and we're like, yeah, that's it, exactly. We were talking about her business and what she's wanting to do and grow and expand, and she happens to be in the pet industry, and she said that what she loves doing is cultivating relationships and bettering relationships between pets and their owners. And instead of saying, well, I'm in the business of puppy daycare, and I'm in the business of training pets, and I'm in the business of creating products for pets. No, she's in the business of cultivating relationships between pets and their pet owners. Wow. To me, that sells the business totally different than just saying, yeah, I provide daycare service, and my puppies, they love it, and my pet owners, they love me. Okay, it isn't just that. It is so much more than that. She's really cultivating those relationships. And so everything else about what she does is filtered through what she's in the business of. For me and for Revision, I'm not in the business of providing coaching. I'm not in the business of giving women professional advice on how to grow their business. That's what I do. But I'm in the business of unlocking dreams, of rediscovering possibilities, and redefining purpose. That's what I'm in the business of doing. And because of that, everything that I do is driven through that filter to say, okay, is what I'm saying here, or the product I'm developing, or the marketing plan I'm developing, is it really unlocking a woman's dream? Is it really rediscovering possibilities and a future for her? Is it really redefining purpose and fulfillment for her? If it is, fantastic. Is that the message that's getting across when I put this website together, or I type up this blog, or I redesign a cover for a workbook? Is it getting that message across? If it is, then I've hit the nail on the target. If it hasn't, then it needs to be reworked a little bit. So let me ask you, what are you in the business of? What are you doing? It isn't just about the product you provide. It isn't just about the service you offer. I'll give you another example. I have a gal who does bath and body products, and I use her as an example a lot because she was one of my very first clients, and I love her stuff, and I love her as a business owner. She's just the greatest. She's smart, and she does what she does really well. And so for her, she makes these really great products that are mostly all natural, and she blends all these great scents together, and it's just a really great product. But instead of just saying she's in the business of creating natural bath and body products, we figured out really the passion that she has is to make women feel beautiful in a way that is uncomplicated, that is not going to cost a fortune, and is easy, everyday beauty. And so she's in the business of that. That's what she's in the business of. She's in the business of providing beauty products or bath and body products in a way that's uncomplicated, in a way that's affordable, in a way that makes women feel beautiful. And that's what she's in the business of, making women, everyday women, feel beautiful every day. Hey, there's your slogan for you, honey. Everyday beauty. How did I just say that? She's in the business of providing those bath and body products to women so that they feel beautiful every day. And so ask yourself that question and really boil it down until you get to that one line definition as to what you're in the business of. And then everything you do from there, okay, is going to be filtered through that. Excuse me. Everything you do for your business, for your marketing, for your product labels, for your logos, for your business cards, everything should be filtered through that message and making sure that it fits with that. Let me give you an example of what that doesn't look like, okay? So I have seen a customer that wasn't a customer of mine. We actually talked about working together, but it just didn't work out. But what they do is they provide repurposed furniture. So she goes and finds furniture that people want to get rid of at garage sales or at vintage shops or whatever. She gets it, she brings it home, she does her magic, and what was a dresser now becomes a bench, or what was a headboard now becomes a piece of art or something. I don't know. Anyways, I'm not that creative, but she does really cool stuff. And so she said that she was in the business of finding beauty in what is unbeautiful. I love that, because she takes what is, tossed aside by normal people, and she makes it into these beautiful pieces of furniture, these beautiful pieces of home decor. So that's what she does. The problem became that in doing that and defining that was her message, her marketing plan, and what she was trying to do was focusing on the before and the after. And her ads became very garbly. Her website became very cluttered. It just was hard to follow. And trying to coach her a little bit, I was telling her that, you're trying to find beauty in the unbeautiful. That's what you're in the business of. But everything you're doing to communicate that message is unbeautiful. Your website, not so beautiful. The marketing email you just sent out is busy and cluttered and hard to read and hard to follow. And there's all these pictures of these not so pretty furniture pieces that grab your attention first. And so everything I see is unbeautiful. Show me the beautiful. And so it wasn't a huge thing, but it was important enough to figure out how to recast some of those marketing messages and some of those images to really fall in line with what she was in the business of. And what happens when you do that successfully is that you create a cohesion across all aspects of your business. It's not only just in your logo and website, but it's also in your new ad for your new product. And you create this brand. Brand is one of those buzzwords that people use in business all the time. And doing this cohesive marketing message creates that brand. And so you actually are developing that brand with what you are in the business of doing. Okay, so let me just recap that just a little bit for you. You're answering the question, what am I in the business of doing? And that question needs to be answered not by just the product or service you provide, but what your customers get or what your clients experience when they come to you or when they're involved in your business or buying your product. So answer that question. Like I said, give it some thought. It might be something that has to evolve over the next couple of weeks. That's okay. It took me a little while to really come up with that definition of what I thought Revision does in its business. And so you think about that and give that some thought. And then the other thing I want you to spend some time doing after you've done that, or you can even do these together, is that I want you to jot down what you do that makes you special or unique in the marketplace. So not just saying that, well, I sell Bath and Body products. Okay, what do you do that is different? What do you do that's unique? What do you do that maybe some of your other competitors don't do? What do you provide that maybe not everybody provides? And be specific and make sure you should have a pretty good list of things there. Try to start thinking of those things on your own. It is really hard for us as women to toot our own horns and to say, yeah, I do that really good. It's really hard for us to do that. We really want to just be humble and quiet and just do our own thing in our own little corner and not really draw a lot of attention. But in a small business, you can't afford to be that way. Very much your unique aspects for your business is what will set you apart from the big marketplace. So you might provide a Bath and Body product that is very similar to a product that sits on a big retail operation on their shelf. It may be a Bath and Body product that's like Bath and Body Works, or it might be something that you can go pick up at Target. Those particular products may be very similar to what you do. But what you do as a small business, you may provide samples that they couldn't provide. You may provide service or delivery options that they couldn't provide. Maybe you offer a money-back guarantee that they can't provide or they don't provide. Think about those things. What is it that you do, or what is it that makes you unique and not necessarily like every other business in the world? For me, I kind of already shared with you in the first video that, again, I'm not the only business coach out there, but what I do is very unique in the fact that I cater it specifically for women, understanding that what you do personally and professionally have to go hand in hand. I also provide training in a way and coaching in a way that helps you get where you want to go, when a lot of other coaching programs help you get where they are at. I don't necessarily want you to be where I'm at. I want you to be where you want to be and go where you want to go. And so we have really unique programs that help you answer questions yourself instead of us just telling you, hey, you should do this or that. We want you to come up with the answers to what you want and where you want to go, what do you want to be. So start answering that question. What is it that makes you different than the other companies like you or the other products like your products in the marketplace? The next video, what we're going to do is we're going to take some of those messages that you're starting to write down, and we're going to start filtering them together, start blending them together to come up with really great messages to put into our awareness piece of the puzzle. And we're going to start talking about how do we tell people in an effective way who we are and what we do. So stay tuned for that video. You have the rest of this week to continue working on answering those questions. The next video comes out next Tuesday, so stay tuned and happy marketing.